What's going on, everybody? C4 here, and we're doing player grades live. I posted a tweet on Twitter that I'm not in the mood to sit through having to record a video, edit the video, then upload it. We're just gonna do this one live. So in the background, we have the Philadelphia Eagles going up against the Rams, and man. It's one of those things, man, where I'm not ready to admit, maybe it's just straight up denial that Carson Wentz didn't tear his ACL. It doesn't look good, but it's one of those things, the fact that that play happened and he was able to go for 4 more plays, throw that unbelievable touchdown pass to Alshon Jeffrey on 4th down, gives you hope that maybe it's just a severe strain and they can wrap it up and stuff like that and tape it up. I mean, there's still a part of me that wants to believe that, but I saw that tweet. I don't know, it was a viral video, Barstool Sports or something like that, and they were talking about the knee wobbling and stuff like that, because that's what it was. People are saying that his knee buckled after the play and it wasn't on the hit. And I mean, you can walk off under your own pressure with a torn ACL, with a mangled ACL. But I mean, the question you kind of need to bring up about Carson Wentz is, if it's a sprained ACL, like still, sprained ACLs, they could take 5-6 weeks, upwards of that, even half a season. So, I mean, it's one of those things where, like, even maybe if it's a best-case scenario and it's not an outright tear, that might be better for, the turnaround for next season. But, I mean, there's a whole lot of scenarios, and I don't see a lot being Carson Wentz playing and returning for the Philadelphia Eagles this season. So, be it an ACL tear or not, I mean, I'm not a religious person at all, but everyone in here that's watching, for the love of God, if you're a fan of Eagles football, if you're a fan of watching tremendous young talents play, if you're a fan of seeing someone that's kind of a shock to the norm of the constant, it's going to be Tom Brady, Ben Roethlisberger, Russell Wilson, it's one of those things, man. I'm starting to feel like the Eagles are cursed a little bit. Starting to feel like they're cursed. You look back to, Donovan McNabb would constantly, like, outside of that 2004 playoff run, he had, like, the sports hernia, and he got hurt, and he got dinged up. I mean, that did spring, like, the Jeff Garcia season, where it was actually one of the funnest times being an Eagles fan. But it just seems like whenever McNabb and our team was at full strength outside of the 2004 season, an injury would crop up. And you'd see that with Michael Vick. I mean, Michael Vick coming off his almost MVP-like season in 2000, I can't remember the year. I want to say 2010. It just, Michael Vick, being the scrambling quarterback, could struggle to stay healthy. And then looking way, way back to the 80s, when the Eagles, late 80s, early 90s, where the Philadelphia Eagles were known as one of the best teams in the NFC, and then Randall Cunningham goes down, and I don't know, man, it sucks. Personally, I was, feeling... It's one of those things. Wentz 4 touchdowns, breaks the Philadelphia Eagles passing touchdown record in a single season, and then you have that happen. I mean, it kind of, on one side of things, it comes with the territory of a quarterback that's as fearless as Carson Wentz, that likes to take as many hits as Carson Wentz does. I mean, maybe there's a little bit onus coming on Doug Peterson for abandoning the run in that game while it was working so good with Jai, even though they just moronically kept trying to feed the ball in and force it with LeGarrette Blount with his just drive-killing, momentum-killing 1-2-yard rushes on 2nd down. Maybe they could have game planned it better. I mean, we don't want to look at retrospect. I mean, at the end of the day, you just need to understand that nothing's confirmed, and I mean, prayers up. I'm not, like I said, I don't go to church. I don't partake in that, but I'm going to the Tebow God. I'm gonna right now. I'm gonna grab this Tebow jersey, and I'm gonna hold it tight. And if anyone out there has something, something out there that they use for the goodness of a heart. Oh my God, this sucks, man. This is so bad. I mean, I got a take that we're gonna wrap. Like I said, it's not a live stream. We're gonna go and talk about the player. We'll do the player grades right now. Get the meat and potato. Like I said, I'm just streaming this, not for any stream. Like I said, man, I just want to I'm gonna go get a couple brewskis and chill out. But the Philadelphia Eagles clinched the NFC East. Hey, it's nice. I mean, I don't know. I definitely would have thought under different circumstances this would be a much more vibrant victory. But 43-35 over the Rams. The team battled. We're 11-2 against adversity, able to finish up. Defense finally stepped it up in the fourth quarter. Looking at the quarterbacks, Carson Wentz went 23 of 41, 291, 4 touchdowns and interception. The interception was 100% on Nelson Aguilar. He let the ball go right through his hands, and it was picked off. And Nick Foles came in 6 of 10, 42 yards, and really a great throw and catch with Nelson Aguilar to really seal out the game. So overall, man, quarterbacks, saw someone made a thing in the little comments there, ACL. He gets an ACL. But Carson Wentz gets an A, man. He was simply sensational in that game, and we wouldn't have won that game without Carson Wentz, I don't think. Look at the running backs. Jay 15 carries, 78 yards, average 5.2 yards per carry. Clement had 24 yards, Wentz 16, Blunt 12. When you see Jay getting fed and he gets 5.2 yards per carry, and LeGarrette Blunt still gets half as many snaps and gets 1.7. I mean, now, depending on the quarterback scenario, we're going to have to be a run-first team, and we're not going to be able to win many games. If not, what we got? The Giants, Raiders, and Cowboys to end the season. We're going to have to run the ball, and we're going to have to go with the hot end, which is Jay. I don't know if Deuce Staley's too stubborn to realize that. I mean, I just constantly rip on him on Twitter. He's my biggest arch nemesis right now on the Philadelphia Eagles. But, I mean, the run game is there, man. And I think if Jay is getting 20-plus carries a game, that side of the offense will be able to pick it up. So running backs today did do a good job, named really Corey Clement and Jay Ajayi. So we'll give the running backs here a B grade. Look at the wide receivers. Torrey Smith, 6 catches, 100 yards. Trey Burton in relief for Zach Ertz, 5 catches, 71 yards, 2 TDs. Nelson Aguilar, 8 catches, 64 yards. Alshon Jeffrey, 5 catches, 52 yards, and a touchdown. And Brent Selleck also had a receiving touchdown. Wide receivers did good, man, outside of the Nelson Aguilar kerfuffle, if you will, that caused an interception. Wide receivers did their job, man. Torrey Smith had a good game. Got open on a couple big plays. So I'll give our wide receivers B+ on the day. Special teams was fire. Given our special teams unit, I give him maybe a B just because of the block punt. But Jake Elliott, Jake the Snake, is clutch. 3 of 3 on his field goals, 4 extra points. He was perfect. Donnie Jones had a good game too. I mean, not a whole lot he could do on the punt block. That was kind of on Corey Clement for blocking the outside runner and not the inside guy. Defense was horrendous. Absolutely horrendous in the first half. I was literally worried. Like, the Philadelphia Eagles defense hasn't played a good real quarter of defense since the fourth quarter against the Chicago Bears. There was not 1 point against the Seattle Seahawks that the Eagles defense was really, appeared to be in control. And same against this game until the fourth quarter. But I have to give credit where credit is due. When our backs were against the wall, the defense bailed us out. The Chris Long forced fumble. You had on the last play. I mean, it was the last play of the game. Didn't mean anything. But Brandon Graham got the interception to seal it up, to make the scoreline look a little better than what it is. We have a sack for Patrick Robinson, a sack for Chris Long, and an interception there for Brandon Graham. But defense, I'll give the defense C+, B-, C+, somewhere in that range. Weren't consistent enough for me. MVP for the game goes to Carson Wentz. I mean, okay. Oh my God, man, it's so frustrating. So this is where I'm just gonna go off my tangent. We have the oh my God, it's going black here. I'm gonna try my best. What's going on here? Resume. So when you look at the NFL right now, obviously it sucks that freaking all the football big time players are getting hurt and stuff like that. But when you look at how the Philadelphia Eagles are built, if in fact Carson Wentz has an ACL tear, we don't know. We don't know that. But it probably is. Let's be honest. I'm going to say right now, my gut, I'm 75-25. 75% sure it is. 25% saying what he did while he supposedly had a torn ACL was more than just adrenaline. Maybe it's not as serious. Maybe the people are wrong. I mean, how many people thought Sidney Jones, or not Sidney Jones, but Ronald Darby was done? It looked like literally Ronald Darby snapped his leg in half, and he came back 3-4 weeks later. So, I mean, there's optimism there. But with Nick Foles at the helm, there's a reason why Nick Foles was one of the highest paid backups in football. There's a reason why at one point in his career, Nick Foles got 27 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Now, I'm no way, shape, or form saying that Nick Foles is going to lead this Philadelphia Eagles team to a Super Bowl. I'm no way, shape, or form saying Nick Foles is going to kind of step into the starting lineup and the offense is not going to miss a beat. We're going to have to alter the way this team runs its offense if then the fact Carson Wentz is gone. We're going to go on the assumption that Carson Wentz is gone. So what you need to understand is the way the Philadelphia Eagles are built with Nick Foles as a starting quarterback draws an awful lot of similarities to the other team in the NFC. Like, there's two teams, but a lot of people have the Minnesota Vikings as another team that's a legitimate Super Bowl contender. And they are winning games and finding way to win games with Case Keenum as their quarterback. And Case Keenum is very much in the same league, the same category as Nick Foles. Both these guys, at the beginning of the season, were experienced backups that had some upside, more so Case Keenum from what he did in college, more so Nick Foles for what he did under Chip Kelly in Philadelphia, but the same type of guys. Guys that they're not going to, they may occasionally, if the team is bad, they're blown coverages, they could go 3-4 touchdowns in a game, but for the most part, they're going to game manage it. They're going to make the occasional, they're going to make the occasional throw that reminds you why they're not a full-time starter, but they're also not a liability. It's not like when the Raiders had Derek Carr go down and they had Matt McGloin come in. Philadelphia Eagle fans, just refer yourself to the preseason with what happens with Matt McGloin. It's not like, when Carson Palmer goes down for the Arizona Cardinals, right? And then Drew Stanton comes in. Drew Stanton, I have literally the most definition of a backup quarterback that has no right actually playing in a game. So when you look at how the Minnesota Vikings are winning games, they have maybe, top 5 defense in football. I'd say right now you have to say that the Vikings have a better defense than the Eagles, especially for how the Eagles have played these last 2 weeks. And they run the ball pretty well. Latavius Murray, Jerick McKinnon, that's a good balance. But when you look at the core of these two teams, very, very similar now. If Nick Foles is our starter for the remaining of the season, people are saying sign Colin Kaepernick. No. I would 10 times out of 10 would rather Nick Foles as our quarterback than Colin Kaepernick. No, Colin Kaepernick cannot run Doug Peterson's offense. This is a Colin Kaepernick's not intelligent. No, we're not even going down that way. No, Nick Foles is our quarterback going down. There's a reason why Philadelphia pays him $5 million a year when most backups are getting either league minimum or $1 to $2 million. There's a reason why we made such an investment, and okay, back to the point. Back to finish this point. Like I said, guys, I'm depressed right now. So when you look at how the Philadelphia Eagles are going to have to approach this season, Nick Foles right now came in the game. You could see a lot of the quick checkdown stuff like that. That's because obviously he wasn't in rhythm. He wasn't game planned in. He probably just called basic plays. But this is a Philadelphia Eagles team that can and will run the ball down your throats. Most of the games we have had, even with Carson Wentz in, we have ran for 90% of the second half because the game has been well in reach. And we've run the ball very, very well. It's more so just the frustration with the running back rotation, be it, it's LeGarrette Blount. Let's be honest. LeGarrette Blount has a time and a place. You want LeGarrette Blount in the game in the fourth quarter when you're already up and you're trying to chew the clock up, or if you're 3rd and 1 and you want to have a short yardage guy and you don't have him, running a zone run by any means. But it does feel like anytime Jay or Corey Clement gets, 2 or 3 hot runs, they get pulled out for LeGarrette Blount, and LeGarrette Blount comes in, stalls the drive, gets 1 or 2 yards. It's terrible. But if the Philadelphia Eagles realize that, oh my gosh, Jai against a really good Rams front 7 was putting up, 5-6 yards per carry. We're going to commit to him. He's going to be our lead back. We're going to get Jai at minimum 15 touches, and then everyone else can work in. That means you're not going to have to put the game on the shoulders of Nick Foles. That is why, if it was a different scenario, Philadelphia might be dead in the water. They're definitely not dead in the water. Definitely have to temper expectations, but it's not like, even though Carson Wentz is having an MVP season, we're not winning the games just because Carson Wentz is making insane play after insane play. We have had, in most of our big victories, great balance between the pass and the run. So now it's going to have to alter a little bit, but the run is there. It's not like we have a it's not like we're the Seattle Seahawks, right? Where there's a non-existent run game and everything's going through Russell Wilson. It's not like we're the, I don't know, what's another team that just has really good pass? Like the Detroit Lions, where if Matt Stafford goes down, oh my God, we have to rely on the run game. Philadelphia can run the ball. They can go that same kind of mold of success that the Minnesota Vikings have been able to. And we have some easy games, man. The Giants, Raiders are the Giants and Raiders. The Raiders have been incredibly hot and cold. But we have the playoff spot locked up. That's the best news. And I don't know, man. I feel like the silver lining the silver lining is that we saw when the going got tough and the back was against the wall, this defense played like the top 5 defense it can be. And if they can step that up, if they can say, all right, we don't have Carson Wentz, we don't have our MVP quarterback right now in this game to, you know, make our lives easier. We're going to have to, as a unit, toughen up and win games. And with the run game, we're still in it. You know, anything can happen. Sure, this is really worst case scenario. You could not have thought of a different type of scenario to be coming out after a victory, after an NFC East clinching to win, than saying Carson Wentz might be done for the season. But all is not dead for the Philadelphia Eagles. And my goal, I never at one point said the Philadelphia Eagles, my goal was for them to win the Super Bowl. Every year that is the dream. But my goal was one playoff win. I just wanted to make it to the playoffs and get one win. And that, for that being my personal goal, getting that one win and seeing what can happen, you know, whatever happens in the rest of the playoff push, this is a team that can do that. This is a team that can get that divisional round win, go into the championship, and see what happens. The defense is good enough for that. The running backs are good enough for that. We have Alshon Jeffrey. We have Nelson Aguilar playing out of his mind. We just, we can't have any more injuries. Between Jason Peters, our best offensive lineman, top 5 tackle in the NFL, Jason Peters. We have Jordan Hicks down, who is the leader of our defense. Last year, Pro Football Focus, I think, was the number 3 linebacker in football. Now you got Carson Wentz. We've missed Zach Ertz, who, you know, was looking like one of the top tight ends, top 3 tight end in football. We have had so much adversity, but if we can get a little bit of stability to round out the last three games, I don't think it's going to be too bad. But I don't know, man. It still sucks. I mean, we're going to wait and see. I assume I'll probably have like a reaction video or something like that once anything gets confirmed. Either I'm going to be exuberant because maybe it's a sprain or something like that, and Carson Wentz will be able to play on a brace, and then we'll be real hyped because maybe he'll be back for, you know, maybe playoffs, especially if we get that bye. It's an extra week of rest. Or we're going to have a crushing, of course, why can't we have anything nice? Philadelphia's curse type video. I assume it'll probably be Monday afternoon, maybe Tuesday if it takes extensive. But, I don't know, man. It's, like I said, people are asking what I feel. My gut has 2 things. My gut personally feels like it's not a torn ACL, even though everyone's saying this, just because of what I saw after the alleged hit. But then at the other time, there's just the stigma. Eagle fans, of course, once things are looking as good as they possibly could, as well as the team that after all the losses already, as I mentioned, with Peters, Hicks, Zach Ertz out, still finding ways to win, still finding ways to make Carson Wentz just look like a damn phenom. And then this happens on top of it. Of course, that would happen to the Philadelphia Eagles. So that does it for this grades video, guys. I mean, it is nice we clinched the NFC East. At the end of the day, you know, we can hold that head over the Cowboys, Giants, and Redskins' heads. It's not dead with Nick Foles. Remember, 27-2. That's all you gotta say. 27-2. And look at the recipe that the Minnesota Vikings, who are regarded as very much a Super Bowl contender, are doing. And I don't see any way the Philadelphia Eagles can't do their best to mimic that style of winning. But it still sucks anytime you see a guy like Carson Wentz who, especially after today, especially after a big-time matchup against, oh, you ain't beat nobody good yet. This Rams team is legit, and we beat them. I mean, I wanted to see him win the MVP. I wanted to see if he could, you know, push for that 40-plus touchdowns. And now that is very much in jeopardy. So, I hope you guys, you know, if you guys are fans of the Eagles, I don't know if you're superstitious, religious, or anything like that. But do what you need to do. Carson Wentz can have my knees if he wants. I don't need them right now. But yeah, that does it for me today, guys. Thank you for watching. And until next time, it's C4 saying peace out.